grateful for the Lord, man. Matthew chapter 25. Matthew chapter 25. I'm going to start a series on today, and I will take it to the third Sunday. We would do 3 Sundays of this. And the title of this series is called I Do. I do. I do. Keep your fingers on Matthew 25. I'm going to walk out a few texts in a few minutes. I do. That's a major question that I want to propose to you today. Are you prepared for the marriage or just the wedding? Are you prepared for the marriage or just the wedding? I do. One of the world's most exciting days where people will pay, and they definitely will come to play. Many will skip the wedding just to play at the reception. You know what I'm saying? Turn up. Right? Turn down for what, right? People spend thousands of dollars on the wedding, but spend little to nothing on the marriage. What do I mean by that, you may ask? The money for the clothing. I've seen dresses costing the thousands of dollars. Decoration, the edifice, music, and the list just goes on and on, but would not spend a dime when it comes to helping their marriage when their marriage is in need, i.e. counseling. Marriage conferences. You won't see married people spending money to go to conferences, but you spent thousands of dollars on the wedding. So many are jubilant about the wedding that if you ask many today who are married, just what did you say I do to? Did you hear for sickness and in health? Did you hear for richer or for poor? My favorite part, until death do us part. Here comes a key for those of you who write key. Saying I do is saying I accept what is to come later. Saying I do is saying I accept what's to come later. The excitement of the wedding causes you to not clearly understand just what you are agreeing to. The saying can be said even in our Christian walk, in our journey. The excitement of being saved will only last for a short duration if the focus is lost on the I do. Meaning, just what are you expecting? Many enter with the expectations of change or even wholeness. But do you know it's possible that if your mind has not been transformed, that which you are expecting will not happen? In verse number 1 of Matthew chapter number 25, look what the text says. He says, at that time, the kingdom of heaven would be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. Bethulah, B-E-T-H-U-L-A, Bethulah, is a Hebrew word for virgins. Cannot be found anywhere in the original Hebrew text, period. Meaning that the original writer did not intend for it to be read as a virgin. But instead, the word virgin in the Bible means young girl. Number 1, what are the expectations for us when we say, I do, in our Christian walk? Number 1, expecting Yeshua does not mean your situation will change overnight. So many people, even when they get married, they're expecting their situation to change overnight. But there are many who get married. You are so glossy-eyed in the first beginning of your marriage, what they call the honeymoon stages, that many times you don't even think about the latter part that is to come. So many times when you say I do, you just said I do. You better get this out of lust at first. You can't wait till the honeymoon to come so you can do your business. You feel what I'm saying? But then when all of the business is said and done, reality then starts to kick in, and then what you said I do to begins to now happen. But because you were so glossy-eyed, so in love, so head over heels, you didn't see the reality of the matter. Because you was expected to enter into a marriage, and here it comes, I want to change you. I want to change you. Oh, Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what you have to understand is saying I do and accepting Yeshua simply means this. It's a process. See, the wedding is glamorous. It's beautiful. Pictures are taken. But marriage is a process. It's nothing to be entered into lightly. And I'm not just talking about your wedding that you stand here with the person. I'm talking about when you say I do to the Lord. Yes. It's not to be entered into lightly. There were 5 who were foolish. Listen to this. And I want you to get this really, really good in this text, because this hit me really, really hard. You are connected to the change maker. See, many times I want to change you. You are connected to the change maker. You're connected to the transformer. You're connected to the eraser. Now get this, I tried the best of me to find a pencil in my office. I couldn't, but here's what I want you to get. Here comes the analogy. I can write something down and put it in penmanship and write it whether it's for the good or for the bad. But on the other end of my pencil is the eraser. It's up to me to turn the pencil upside down and erase where I made a mistake. You're going to get this in a second. See, you are connected to the eraser. You are connected to the change maker. You are connected to the transformer. But it's up to you to allow the change maker to change you. It's up to you to allow the transformer to transform you. It's up to you to allow him to erase. But many times when we enter into the relationship, we think it happens instantly. Here it comes. It can happen. Yeshua says, I don't change you. You have to want the change. He said, I don't force myself on you. You have to want what I offer. 5 were wise. 5 were foolish. The process may even hurt. If I were to ask some people in here today who were married, does marriage hurt? If they tell you no, they lying. Marriage hurts. Talked to a lady on the other day. She told me she'd been married for 45 years. I told my wife I would love to sit down and talk with her, but then she ended up calling me back because I forgot to give her something. And she went to just talking about her marriage. She said, 45 years have not been the prettiest. She said, we still get mad at each other. Y'all gonna get this in a second. She said, there are some times when we argue and it's senseless arguments. She said, but guess what? I still love him. See, you got to understand, you got to know how to take the good along with the bad. Oh, y'all going to ride with this in a second. That's what even happens in being a Christian. Some people want to walk away because they feel like the Lord is not doing what he said he was going to do. But in reality, he is. He says, I'm here. But did you really know what you were saying? I do too. Oh, watch this. This is the part that I love. So many people, when they give their lives to the Lord, that's why sometimes I don't like music played. I don't want no singing done. I want you to pause and know what you just did. Because sometimes your emotions will push you to do a thing that then later you'll say, oh man, what did I just do? That's what happens sometime in marriage. You in love, that's what you think. And then the moment you say I do, about 2-3 years later, you say, Lord, I said, what did I do? The process hurts. The process is very painful. The process will hurt so bad that it may cause regrets. The process will even hurt so bad that it'll make you want to go backwards. Y'all don't want to have that kind of conversation. Make you want to go backwards because you got old Sally sitting back there saying, remember me? Mm-hmm. Remember me? Baby, he ain't making you happy. You need to come back on over to this side. Remember me? Remember how I made you feel? Y'all gonna catch this in a moment, because there's some of us that are in that backsliding stage that we say we on the Lord's side, but we got something back here still pulling on us, still tugging on us. But you want to put on the front in front of the people. But God said, I know what you're doing. Y'all gonna get this in a moment. See, when you cheat, your cheating will catch up with you sooner. Y'all gonna get this in a moment. I know you think I'm talking about the physical thing, but I'm talking about your spiritual man. You can keep cheating on God if you want to. Eventually, he gonna pull the cover away and say, here's what's happening when you cheat on me. You thought you could just tiptoe and slide and do all you big and bad to do. Now you want me back when things are going bad for you. You done caught a spiritual disease and you want me to hook you up and give you a shot of penicillin, but I can't stick you today. I'm going to let you burn, baby. Y'all will catch that in a moment. Because here's some people cheating on the Lord. You done cheated on your I do vows. You once was faithful. In the beginning of your marriage, you faithful. Can't beat you in the church. Can't beat you giving. There's constantly consistency. Then all of a sudden you get slack. I'm coming. But you got to remember, you got to hang in there. Look at verse 2. 5 of them were foolish and 5 of them were wise. Verse 3 is where I want to go. The foolish ones took their lamps, but they did not take any oil with them. They ain't take no oil with them. Verse number 4. The wise ones, however, took oil in jars along with their lamps. Number 2, if you're writing notes, here's what you expect. Your acceptance is, here it is. When you accept Yeshua, here it comes. He's saying, can I trust you with the oil? Oh, Lord. Can I trust you with the oil? The oil is precious. The oil is valuable. This only happens after the crushing. Let me say that again. Many people want the oil, but many people don't understand the process of getting the oil. In order to have the oil, there must be a crushing. So we want relationship, but we don't want no crushing. You got to understand a relationship, it's purposeful to have ups. It's purposeful to have downs. It's purposeful for there to be sun. It's purposeful for there to be rain. It's purposeful to have all of these situations. Why? Because in the process of all of this, it's making you stronger. Why is it that God tests us so much? He tests you in order to prove your faith. If there's anybody in here, and I think that there is a person in here who works at a car place of an assembly line, no car is given to you first until it's tested to do what it said it can do. A Ferrari is not given to you unless they know that it's there. When it says it can do from 0 to 60 in this amount of seconds, believe it or not, they tested it. It can be proven. So God is saying, can I test you to prove that you say you have what it is you say you have? Sometimes he tests you in your relationship on the physical sense to see just where your relationship stands. Oh, Lord. Can you really stand the pressure that he places on us? Can he say, can I really trust you with the oil? Can I really trust you with the moments in your life that feels like you're being crushed and you're underweight of the world? But Yahweh is producing greater inside of you, greater anointing, greater fresh oil. See, many people want the anointing, but nobody wants the freshness of the crushing that goes along with it. Many people want to be anointed to do what it is that they do. You want to be an anointed preacher. You want to be an anointed musician. You want to be an anointed prayer person. But you cannot be anointed unless you're willing to be crushed. It's a crushing. It hurts to be crushed. Have you ever crushed a bug and heard the crunch? Some of us are being crushed spiritually right now. He's crushing you. But God is saying the crushing is going to produce something greater. Even in your physical sense, if you have a relationship, he says, I'm crushing your relationship because I crush you to prove whether or not it's really a relationship. God, ride with me, please. I do. What did you truly say? I do too. Are you like these people here? Please write this down. Here comes a key. He longs for a relationship. Yeshua don't care about no religion. He cares about a relationship. How do I know that? Because all through the text in the Septuagint in the New Testament, he was always bucking against religious leaders. Because when you're religious, you're always throwing this up, throwing that up. He said, I long for a relationship. When you're religious, did so-and-so did that sin? What did he do? He drew a line in the sand. Watch out here. When so-and-so slipped and fell, and they pick it up and wanted to stone her, he said, if you without sin, you cast the first stone. Religious people always want to throw some stone. But you don't realize when you have a relationship, relationships causes a closeness. You need to be so close to the person it is that you love that you know they're sent. I'm coming. See, you think I'm talking about your spouse you lay down with. See, when you're so close to him, you know that he truly is a sweet-smelling Savior. Because you're that close to him. Because his aroma is actually pushing away the things that are stench that's trying to overshadow you. See, sometimes you can go outside and smell like outdoor. Y'all gonna get this in a second. My grandkids went outside the other day and they came back inside. I said, oh Lord, what is that smell? They smelled just like where they had been. When was the last time somebody smelt the aroma of the Lord on you? When was the last time you opened up your mouth and they smelt the breath of who blew breath inside of you? Shouldn't have said your breath stank because they smelled the sweetness of the Lord all over you when you talk. See, I'm not talking about getting so close that they know the scent that you just had some peanut butter, you just had some onions. I'm talking about your conversation is so seasoned that they know you are truly connected to the Ruach. Oh, Lord. Relationships produces more than enough. Say that with me. Relationships produces more than enough. Look at verse 4. The wise ones took their oils in a jar along with them. They took it with them. They took some extra oil. Extra oil. Key. It's the extra oil that's needed to keep you before his presence. It's the extra oil that keeps you before his presence. It's the extra oil that helps you maintain until he comes. See, sometimes you want to give up. Many people in here today, if you were to really ask some true married people, have you ever had a thought of divorcing? It's finna get spanking here. Overseer ain't talking about nobody business. I'm being raw. I've been married 25 years, and you can't tell me Lady Nettles and I have not been at a place where we wanted to say, enough is enough. But it was because of the love that we have for each other that caused us to push past that I don't want you and made me say, I want you. Y'all gonna get this in a moment. Y'all gonna get this in just a second. Because those moments happen when we are believers. We get the moment saying, man, I did better when I was on the other side. God knows it was better for me before I even got saved. When I got saved, I ain't went through all of this stuff. But it seemed like soon as I got saved, it's like the gates broke open. Never had no financial problem. As soon as I got saved, Lord have mercy, can't keep no money. Ain't never worried about illnesses. But as soon as I got saved, every time I wake up, I'm sick. Don't feel like doing that. There was a time in a lot of our lives we were full of energy, but all of a sudden we're lethargic now. Why? Because it seemed like when I got saved, all this lethargic is faced in my life. That's what the enemy wants you to think. He toys with so many of our minds. But you fail to see and realize just what did you say, I do too. We come into the relationship expecting Yeshua to change us just like that. And we don't realize that it's the all of these people that kept them and had them to the point of, wait, I'm about to get somewhere and it's coming. Stay with me. Here it comes. He said, I'm sure Yeshua was letting them know that in the extra oil. He said, I won't grow weary in my waiting. Watch this and look at the text. Write the text with me, guys. Let's go. See, watch verse 5. The bridegroom was a long time in his coming. Watch what the Amplifier said. I like what the Amplifier said. The Amplifier said he was delayed in his coming. I'll pause right here and teach for a second. Do you not know when he delays, it simply means he's testing you. He tested your patience now. You see, some of us, we don't have no patience. And he says he delayed the coming. He was going to come. He was getting ready to come. But the text said he delayed his coming. He delayed his coming so much that they were all in the same situation. Watch what the text says. The text says that the bridegroom was a long time in coming, and they all became drowsy and they fell asleep. They were all in the same situation here. They were all asleep now, resting. Can you rest that night knowing that even though he's delayed, I know he's still going to do what he said he's going to do? Can you sleep at night? The other night it was a storm, a tornado, they say, Wednesday night. And my wife will tell you it's rarely I sleep through stuff, but he let me sleep all the way through it. Didn't even know till I woke up the next morning. I looked at my phone. Phone said we were supposed to have took cover at 12:45 in the talker. I was late. Why? Because I was resting in the trust, saying he's going to take care of me. I ain't got time to be up all night long, wondering, get out from upstairs, go downstairs, let's get in the closet, let's do this there. He let me rest through the storm. Somebody going to get this in a second. He will let you rest through the storm. He will let you rest through your storms in your life and give you assurance that if I allowed the storm to happen, I will allow you to be comforted. I will allow you to be protected no matter what's trying to come your way. Why? You got to rest in me. Did you hear that? Resting. Resting is resting in his promises. Resting knowing that he is coming. Do you see what's all going on in the world right now? He's setting an atmosphere. Atmosphere must be conducive for what you're wanting. If you're wanting love, you got to set the atmosphere for love. If you're wanting worship, you got to set the atmosphere for worship. He's setting the atmosphere for him to return. The atmosphere is almost conducive enough for him to come. He's setting the atmosphere. See, many people think it's going to be peace, but the Lord causes chaos. Stay with me, please. Resting in his promises, knowing that he's coming. He said, I delayed you to see your reactions. Many times the Lord delays to see how you respond to him saying, hold up for a second. I want to see how you reacted. You knew it was promised to you, but for some odd reason they say, wait. Anybody ever been at that place where they said it was yours and you can have this, the house is yours, the car is yours, the job is yours, but all of a sudden they said, just wait a minute. You ready to bust a move, but all of a sudden they say, wait a minute. I'm ready to sign the papers. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do that, but they saying, wait. See, God wants to know that in your waiting period, what are you doing while you're waiting? Are you mumbling and grumbling, or are you still saying, Lord, I thank you even for the opportunity? Y'all gonna get this in a second. Oh, God. This is what he showed me in studying this text. He said, I delayed you to see your reaction. Here comes the key. How you respond in the waiting will determine your mindset. How you respond in the waiting will be determined by your mindset. In your mindset, your mind controls every single thing. I've said it to you before. I said it again. If you tell yourself right now that you have a headache and keep saying it, before the end of the day, you're going to have a headache. If your mind is that powerful in the negative, why won't you speak positivity to yourself? Why won't you speak positivity to your situation? Because I said, I'm trying your mindset. What goes on in your mind, can I prove it to you? The text says, so as a man thinketh, it's you. How are you thinking in the waiting process? He delayed you. You impatient. You antsy. God, where you at? I need you right now. I need you, Lord. He said, I know you need me, but I'm pausing. I'm sitting back going to see your response. Why? Because I put something in you too. See, when I blew my spirit inside of you, I blew some patience in you as well. Why? Because I'm a patient God. See, there are times you got to stir up the gift that's on the inside of you and not keep allowing your gift to lie dormant. Some of our gifts are just lying dormant. That's why, watch this, I'm coming. There are a lot of people who have the illness inside of them, but when you get close to somebody, it's the catalyst of you catching what they have. Why? Because it was already in you. Y'all gonna get this in a moment. Some people already have what they're needing inside of them to continue the process of trusting the Lord. But there are times through your testimony, here it comes, people are overcome by the testimonies of others. God said, in the waiting, I will allow somebody else to testify as to what it is that you're wanting to happen. And I'll show you, I'm a Romans 2:11 person. I'm a God of no respect of person. So if I did it for them, I want to see what you'll do while you're waiting on me. Oh, God. The bridegroom was for a long time, and it's coming. And they all became drowsy and fell asleep. Verse 6. Verse 6 said, at what? Midnight. The cry rained out. Here's the bridegroom. Come out to meet him. Write this down. Don't grow weary while you wait. Don't grow weary while you're waiting. Let us not be weary in well-doing, for you shall receive if you faint not. The word faint in the Greek means to become relaxed. Don't get so chill. Bust a move and do something. Keep moving. Keep going. Don't sit. It's easier to hit a target that's sitting still than a target that's moving. The enemy wants you sitting still. Why? So he can cause you to feel helpless. So he can cause you to be depressed about whatever it is you're going on. How do you think depression happens? When you're sitting still thinking about your situation. He gets you because you're in a dark place because you won't move. But when the moment you get up and start moving, go to the grocery store, go to the mall, go walking, do something. The enemy don't talk with you. Why? Because who messes with you when you busting a move? The Lord started to speak now. Why? Because you're moving. He sees you pressing. He sees you going. He sees you wanting him more than your situation. At midnight, here it comes. Midnight signifies another day. Did y'all know that? Midnight is another day. Make it a little plainer to a couple of people overseas. Midnight is another day, but it's still dark. Y'all gonna get this in a second. They're gonna get this in a second, nephew. It's still dark, but it's another day. And if he allows you to see another day in your darkness, you still need to tell him, thank you. Even though it's dark, but God, I still thank you. You brought me to another day. It's midnight, but I'm still saying, thank you. Here it comes. Why did Yeshua wait till midnight? Y'all got to get this. He waited till midnight because between midnight and 3 o'clock is the enemy's hour. He said, I'm coming in the hour where no man knows where I'm coming. The thief don't wait till 8 or 9 o'clock. He creep in your house just when you least expect him to. He came at midnight because it was another day and it was darkness, but I'm here to tell you when light comes, it has nothing to do with darkness. He waited till midnight to enter into, because midnight is the hour of the enemy. So he came to destroy the hour of the enemy and establish his hour. He said, I know that's a day. Make it plain to somebody because everybody here ain't on the same level. Why do you think clubs are free before? Y'all gonna holler at me in a minute. Y'all gonna talk to overseer in a second. Yes, you. I know some of y'all act like it's super sane. Holler at your boy. Club free for midnight. Why? Because that's the devil time. Put all the men in there, women free. Come on in. Y'all gonna get this in a second. See, when it came in, he said there was a cry. And the Lord sent me another route with this, so I'm going to extrapolate the text and make it plain for you. Here it comes, a cry. He says, your cry will determine how soon I come. Y'all going to get this in a moment. I know they said there was a cry, a loud cry, preparing. Then he showed me in the natural sense. He said, when the bride is coming, the little child comes out saying, ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. The bride is coming. The bride is coming. Got to make some noise for him to come. I ain't never met so many people in my life who quiet when they come to the Lord. But when it come to anything in the world, you hoarse. Oh, Lord, you loud. God can't beat you. Can't beat you screaming at the TV. You screaming at the TV. Can't nobody hear you at the TV. You screaming all over the place. But when we in the Lord's house, we're like a mouse peeing on cotton. You're right with that preacher. Because you don't understand what the I do was for. See, when you really understand the I do, You don't care. You'll come in this church and lay down on the floor. Why? Because God, I need something from you. I ain't worried about nobody who see me. I'm expecting something, and I came to get what I'm expecting. I might have on eyelashes. They might come off while I'm down here crying. I might have dye in my hair when they're running down, whatever the men be put on your face, and then turn and ran black, all Beijing. It don't look like Peking when I finish. Because when you want something from the Lord, you don't care about your vanity. Why? Because I know what I said I do too. I know every day ain't going to be a day of sunshine. I know rain must come for growth. But in the process of me crying, nephew, I'm going to lie on this floor and say, I need you, Lord. I'm at that place in my life that you got to be in your relationship. God, help my unbelief. I know that this can happen, but you got to help my unbelief right now. I done seen you do it for them, but what about me, oh God? It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of. Y'all got to get that personal. You can't be that person if you don't have a relationship. So when you have a relationship, you can talk to your spouse like this. Sweetheart, I love you, but sometimes I don't feel like you love me back. That only comes from a relationship. Because some folks, what you mean I don't love you back? But see, when you got that relationship with the Lord, he'll sit there and say, Lord, I don't feel like you love me. Then all of a sudden, he'll send some love your way. Why? Because he say, I'm jealous. I don't want you to go back to nothing else but me. Why? Because he say, it's all about me. Y'all going to get this in a second. That's what the I do is about. Let's finish up the text. Listen to this. So they all fell asleep at midnight. The crowd rang out, and here's the bridegroom coming out to meet them. Verse 7. Then all the virgins woke up. I'm almost finished. And they trimmed their lamps. But the foolish ones said to the wise ones, give us some of your oil. Oh, Lord, let me finish this, and I'm going to finish, and I'm going to come back. Give us some of your oil. Our lamps are gone out. Well, they replied that there may not be enough for both of us and you. Instead, go to those who sell the oil and buy some for yourselves. But while they were on their way to buy the oil, the bridegroom arrived. The virgins who were ready, they went in with him to the wedding banquet, and the door was shut. I love this text because it clearly shows and distinctively there are two types of believers. Those who believe and wait and ain't going to overdo it. And those who believe and wait and overdo it. The foolish ones use everything that they have. Let me make it plain for a lot of you. The foolish ones become successful and show it all everywhere they go. I'm in the airport. I'm at the car lots. I'm in Saks Fifth. I have on Gucci. I have on Louboutins. They will sit with their legs crossed. Ain't never crossed their legs in their life. So you can see the red on the bottom of their shoes. And you got to be careful because some of them even painted it. Watch out, Nettles. Oh, Lord, I'm going to steal this one here. You riding good. You living good. You're eating good, but your teeth jacked up. Y'all all right with that kind of teaching? Teeth jacked up. You looking good. You riding in a $100,000 car. You standing in $1 million house. You dressed up from head to toe. You probably got on thousands and thousands of dollars in clothing, but your teeth, when you smile, it hurt me. When you talk, it make me run. Y'all gonna get this in a moment. Move on. Now I ain't getting this. You know what you call right here? 2 minutes. You're the foolish ones. See, the wise ones, they putting up right now because they see what's happening in the atmosphere. They ain't trying to be extravagant right now. Baby, I ain't worried about no Louis. I ain't worried about no Gucci. I ain't worried about no Michael Kors. I ain't worried about no Louboutin. Baby, I'm worried about saving that money because the day gonna come, you're gonna have to come to me and say, can I borrow some sugar? Baby, I need some tissue. But watch this, you better be glad I can't walk today because I'll open that door, close it, and lock it. When that door is closed, can't nobody else get in here. Now, if you got to put a code on your door that when don't nobody know but you and the Lord and your family. Because when that door closed, can't nobody else come in. Are y'all getting this text? When he closed the door, it it's too late. But wait a minute, weren't both of them on the same page over here? Weren't both of them believers? God said, I'm going to show you the wolves from the sheep. He said, I'm going to show y'all who the real ones. It's coming. You know how you can tell the real from the fake saints? Real saints going about their business. Fake saints still around here trying to act like, oh, Jesus, COVID coming again. What I'm going to do? Real saints said, I'm going to bless the Lord at all times. His praise going to forever be in my mouth. Come with me. I'm trying to live. I ain't trying to wait till I get to heaven to get no power. I want the power now. I got to go here and say this as I close. You know who really showing the fear? Saints. Oh, God, so-called saints. So-called saints. I'm glad nobody ain't in here with it because they'll say I'm talking about them. I see more people who are Christians wear masks than folks who don't care nothing about this thing, don't wear damn masks. Y'all all right with that teaching today? Pastor Nettles not saying I'm against it, but how in the world you got on a mask in church and you were just at the games today where you have on now? Y'all all right with that? Is that not called backwards? I heard somebody say it too. Is that not called hypocrisy? Wise, foolish. Which category are you falling in? Let me read this and we're done. So you shut the door, verse 11. Later the others also came and said, Lord, Lord, open the door for us. He replied, I assure you, and most solemnly say to you, I don't know you. Oh, Lord, I wanted to finish this. I'm in the Amplified. He said, we have no relationship. That's why I wanted to go to this hymn. 13 says, therefore be on the alert, be prepared and ready, for you do not know the hour nor the day when the Son of Man will come. Don't be the foolish ones that he closed the door and say, I don't know you. Don't be the foolish ones to use up every single thing you get and not have nothing set aside. If the Lord has said you would be a lender and not a borrower, what is it that you have stored up that you can lend and give? Because the day is coming, guys. Do you not know our very own president has announced a famine is coming? He said there's a food shortage. This came out of Biden's mouth. What the saints doing? Shoot, you can't ask Al if you got anything stored up. Nope. But I'm telling like this, don't come my way. Because you better get like the foolish and the wise. You better get like the wise and be ready. Because if the president has said it, guess what happened? The government going to make sure it happens. Y'all going to get this in a moment. Because if it has already come out to be public, it's coming. Had an opportunity to watch a YouTube channel. There were farmers on there said they were paid to destroy their crops. Ooh, Lord. Y'all gonna get this public information so I can say it. They were paid to destroy their crops. So if they were paid to destroy their crops, don't you think the famine is coming sooner than you think? But will you saints be like the wise, or will you saints be like the foolish? Because when it comes, I heard a person say it's best to be ready than to be getting ready. Amen. What have you said I do too? The word of God for the people of God.